Here we go. Ready, Charles?
Yep. I'm trying to find my Irene tweets.
Oh, God.
I got a couple. Tweet talk episode.
Through the ringer, but I'm ready.
Nah, you good. You good. You be good. People want to hear that shit talk anyway.
Fuck it.
Tweet talk episode 42.
It's lit. Who is 42? I feel like that's a number that somebody's been number 42.
I think a lot of people have 42, man. I mean, like, Google it now.
Like Terrell. Jackie Robinson. Episode Jackie Robinson. You can't forget about Jackie Robinson, man.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There we go.
I was thinking like Jerry Stackhouse, but there's no comparison.
Right.
No comparison.
Right.
So, like always, you got Raphael and Charles. And this episode, we have a special guest, Credit Queen Irene.
That's me. What up?
Irene Day of Hannah Financial.
Yes.
Yep. Talking that credit talk. Licensed and bonded.
Yes.
It's very important.
Very, very important. Very important.
Okay, so before we start, Irene, tell us, what does that mean? Like, tell us a little bit about you and your business, and what does it mean to be licensed and bonded in credit repair?
So contrary to popular belief, the credit repair industry is it's legal, like credit repair is legal. You have to have a license to perform credit repair services, and in most states you have to have a bond. So I'm in Ohio, so in order for me to have my license to do credit repair, I have to have a $50,000 business bond, and it basically just protects like my company and my consumers from being sued for like bull crap. Yep.
Are you in downtown Ohio or downtown Cleveland or?
I am.
Okay, that's what I figured. Like I see the loft. It has to be like a city.
Oh yeah. So I'm in Asia Town, which is like half a mile from downtown. Like if I walk like 2 blocks over, that's considered downtown Cleveland.
If I were to ever visit Cleveland, it would be downtown area. So
yeah, it's cool. I like Cleveland. It's home. It's no place like home, and yeah, I like where I live at. It's a lot of interesting characters that live in my building, but my apartment's pretty dope.
How much does it cost to get a throne?
So this my throne was $700.
That's an expensive throne.
Well, so like I use it for like a lot of my photo shoots. So like when I would do shoot like promos and stuff, I would usually shoot in the throne, and I would have to rent a throne, and it's like $300 to rent one. And I'm like, why not just buy one?
I like it. I think it's dope. When I saw it, I was like, that's dope.
Listen, what's a queen without her throne?
Yeah, so for those listening, Irene has
The
a crown and a crown.
I like wearing a crown, don't make my hair hurt. And I got a little head, so.
Yeah, so tell us about Hannah Financial, the services you provide.
So what do? We offer personal credit, restoration, tax prep, and business credit building. That's what we do. We service all 50 states. I officially launched in 2017, and 2018 was my first full year in business, and it was the first year I was able to say that I have a 6-figure financial service company. So yeah, just been kind of killing it ever since. Got 6 employees, and we get it done.
Two of the things I like about like you and your business is you have like different products to complement each other, which I think is super dope. And I think that's how business should be done. It's like you have credit repair, but that's not it. You have all these other products that can kind of complement each other, tax services and things like that.
Because it's like when it comes to finances, it's like, it's really kind of all in the same like thing. And usually if somebody trusts you enough to like repair your credit, it's like, Irene, we want you to do our taxes too. So that's really how I got into it, because I had a bunch of credit repair clients that were like, Irene, like, you don't do nothing else? Like, and just complaining about their experiences with tax people. So I'm like, let me go ahead and toss that in as a service. So here we go.
The other thing that I like, and something I'm looking to incorporate, is you aren't afraid to invest in professional, like, assistance, I guess you'd call it. So you're going to hire the graphics person. You're going to hire the media person. You're going to hire the website person. You're not looking over there trying to Google how to build a website.
No, so let me tell y'all, people, especially when we come to business, everybody, they don't really understand that, like, you cannot do everything. You can't design your graphics. You can't do your website. Like, you can't build out your back-end automations. And I had ran into the space where I was literally taking all of these classes, like paying for all of these, like last year alone, I probably spent like $30,000 on like master classes, trying to learn different shit. And I'm just in a space right now where it's like, this is not my expertise. Like, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not a web designer. Like, you really spend so much money and time just trying to do it yourself when you really could have invested that in a professional, got it done in a timely manner, and spent way less money.
Yeah, you can see the difference too.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, as a business owner, we don't understand that you have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Like, you either gonna spend it trying to learn how to do it on your own, or you're gonna spend it just hiring professional help and just getting it done. So that's where I'm at right now. Like, if it's not my specific niche, I want no parts. Like, I'll hire somebody with a quickness.
Unfortunately, Canva is dope, but people can spot Canva now. So Canva is, like, people can see, like, oh, I was scrolling, I saw that one, so I already know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I use Canva for some stuff. And even like if you go to Hannah Financial University, which is like where I house my digital products, like my DIY products, because there's always going to be people who want to hire a professional to repair their credit. And then there's always going to be those people, oh, you can repair it on your own. Cool. So here's this 100 plus page guide for you to figure it on your own.
Exactly. And that's what I think is dumb.
People, they be in a space where they don't want to show people what they do, but it's like, I can give you the sauce. Your sauce ain't gonna taste like my sauce, but I can tell you what I put in it.
Right. Noted.
Yeah, I mean,
options trading workshop, the book coming soon.
Yeah, it's weird because I've actually had people like purchase the DIY guide and email me like, Irene, I had no idea that it was all this involved. Like, how do I sign up for service? So it's like,
it's a big guide.
Yeah, like you can't be afraid to share what you know. And then with social media, it's like you almost gotta show your stripes. And especially like in my space, because there are so many people like doing janky shit and just fucking people over and just being just frauds with their little shiny suits on and shit. I don't have no problem showing like, I'm in here in my t-shirt and some sweatpants, but ain't none of y'all credit experts gonna out expert me. Like,
so before Raphael gets into the tweets, there's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and it's how you left your job and your job was paying you whatever they're paying you.
$39,000 a year. I was there for 13 years.
And the next year in business, you blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
I finally decided to take a chance on myself. So I've always been the person that like helped everybody else, but I never really like took what I had going on seriously. Mm-hmm. Like when I graduated college in 2016, that was when I finally decided like, all right, I need to really make some shit shake. And what forced me out in 2017, the whole reason I had even went to school was to get a job in human resources with the company that I was with. I was literally there for exactly 13 years. I got hired July 7th, 2004, quit July 7th, 2017. So the opportunity had came up and I had like all of the recommendations you could possibly have. Like I had a recommendation from my store manager, his boss, and the regional manager, and I never got a call from the internal recruiter. So randomly one day, my district manager called me and he's like, Irene, like, what's going on? Because they'd be crazy, like, not to hire you. Like, you literally know our policies inside and out. So they did an investigation or whatever, and the internal recruiter ended up hiring like one of his friends who needed a job. So they fired him, but like firing him didn't give me a job. And that's when I was just like, I had been doing credit repair, like helping with my friends and family. And that's when I was like, this ain't it. Like I have to take a chance on myself.
I feel like a big part of the reason why you working for somebody else and making $39,000 isn't because you're worth $39,000.
No, it's because you get comfortable. Like, people don't understand, you get comfortable with whatever you're doing. Like, whether it's you comfortable not doing shit, like you comfortable doing the bare minimum, you comfortable killing it in business. Like, when you in a place for so long, you get comfortable. And that's where I was at. Like, I was comfortable, and I had all the pull in the world, like, because I had been there for so long. But eventually you have to get tired of being comfortable. Like, I don't know nobody that really killing in business that was like, oh, I'm gonna just stay in this comfort zone. Like, everybody I know that's like really killing it had that wake up call and was like, yo, you gotta get your shit together and get out of your comfort zone. So it's like, until you get out of your comfort zone, you're gonna keep making the $39,000 a year that you're making at your job that you've been at for 13 years. Or you're gonna stay in that relationship with that dude, you know, then had 3 kids on you. Like, that's what we do. Like, we stay in situations that we shouldn't, just out of comfort alone. So I'd rather be in a situation that I'm comfortable in, where I'm killing it, than to be in a situation that I'm comfortable in and I'm literally living paycheck to paycheck.
Do you think that it takes as much effort and time to make more money in your own business as it was to make less money working for somebody else, or is it about the same?
I don't think it takes more effort. I think it takes way more self-discipline and self-awareness. I'm lazy. Like, I'm mad lazy. I probably could have made like $1 million already. Like, I'm really, 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 really close, but like, I could be well over my hump if I wasn't lazy. I'm lazy. I don't like working. A lot of this, I don't. A lot of stuff on the back end of my business that like I've automated, I found out how to automate because I'm lazy. Like, I don't want to do this. So I'm lazy, and I did not develop the self-discipline that I needed to run a business probably until like last year. So yeah, but I'm very self-aware. Like, a lot of people be in denial about what they got going on, like their strengths and weaknesses as a person. Like, I know I'm lazy. I know I don't like being bothered with people when I don't feel like being bothered. Which is why I'm very specific with how I interact with people. And people, oh, she thinks she's too good. No, it has nothing to do with that. Like, I just prefer to interact with people a way that is productive or conducive for me. And it's like, if this does not serve me, I don't feel like I have to do it. Like, you DMing me, I want to sign up for services when my link is in my bio. That's not something I want to deal with. But like, if you DM me on Instagram, I literally every day I wake up and I delete my message requests. Because like, if it's something credit repair related, it's on my profile. All you gotta do is click the link. That's it. It even say it in my bio, like, let's work, links below. That's it.
I like it.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, the people that are in the DMs, like, asking questions, they're not gonna be your clients anyways. They just wanna ask questions.
Yep.
You don't have the luxury to just waste my time. Because I could be, like, sitting on the couch not doing shit because I enjoy not working. Like, so.
I like it. Raphael, what do you have for, man?
Yeah, well, let me ask you something for both of you. Have either one of you seen that video of all the people outside of that tax prep place? Like, they're looking for their stimulus check. Yeah, I don't know where it is, but they're looking for you didn't see it?
Yeah, it was in Augusta. I saw it.
They're all looking for their stimulus check.
So this is what happened. Let me tell you what happened. So as a professional tax preparer, like, if you go to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, they advertise like these cash advances, right? Like, get this same day cash advance up to $24. So like, as a tax preparer, I offer you the same shit, use the same banks. The reason that situation in Georgia was a thing is because the way that the professional tax prep business works, we've got, they're called servicing banks. So we've got banks, like if you file your taxes with me, you get a refund for $9,000, you want to get a cash advance. That cash advance comes from my servicing bank. That don't come out of my pocket. Mm-hmm. So when your tax refund gets dispersed, it goes to the servicing bank. They get paid their, whatever they advanced you, whatever fees they charge, my prep fee, so I don't have to charge you up front for my prep fee, and then they disperse you the rest, right? So that's how that works. So the reason that there was issues with that particular place is because they don't have a servicing bank. So what they were doing is filing people's taxes using like Tax Act USA or TurboTax and depositing their clients' tax refunds into their personal bank account. So when those stimulus checks got dispersed, you got all these people with $1,200 deposits in your bank account. And what are you doing? Not giving them their money.
Yeah.
So that's why that's what it was. Cause it was like the IRS and like the Attorney General was out there too. They don't just pop up on you like that. There ain't even nobody at the IRS right now for you to call and talk to. Like on the taxpayer side or the tax practitioner side, there's literally nobody for you to even call. So the fact that like the IRS was down there, they knew some shit went right.
Mm. Did you get your stimulus, Raphael?
I did today, actually.
Nice. What are you going to invest that in, Raphael?
I'm still deciding. I got a call with Irene on Friday.
Friday.
So I got some questions. I
didn't get a stimulus. I was looking. I was like, "Where's my stimulus, man?" I didn't see it.
You make too much money, brother.
They still sending out checks and deposits, but it's the IRS. Like they have. When I tell you there's no method to the madness with the IRS, it's just madness. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
So let me ask you. So you said, so if they came through Hannah Financial, for instance, and they decided to get an advance instead of getting a direct deposit straight to their bank account from the IRS, what would happen in that instance? Would they get the direct deposit, or would it come to you first?
No. So my clients have already been getting stimulus checks. So since I use the servicing bank, they actually just rerouted the direct deposits to my clients. Mm-hmm. So like I had a couple of people like that filed with me that did direct deposit. So their checks and stuff got sent to them from my servicing bank. But then there's some people who I had to print live checks for. So like this morning, I was up at 6 this morning. If you got a live check printed from my office, I just sent you your AGI and your refund amount so you can go to the IRS website and update your direct deposit information with them. So they didn't mail you a live check.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tweets, Raphael.
All right. I had a couple questions. Okay.
Yeah. It was like 22 people, but I knew everybody was going to be blowing me up. So I'm like, let me just get up and get it together.
All right. So you had an IG post saying bad credit is not a broke or a black problem. My first 10 full paying local clients were old white guys making 6-7 figures a year that couldn't really do the big deals they want because they didn't have the credit.
The absolute truth. So like being black, growing up in the hood, we always hear people like, oh, cash is king. Like I'm going to the dealership and I'm cashing out. Being in the industry that I'm in, I know why they cash out now, because you can't go to the dealership and get financed. Like you go to the dealership, they don't care how much money you got. If you cannot prove on paper that I paid back what I owe, they're not letting you off the lot with a car and you ain't paying cash for it. That's why they cash out. So up until probably like last summer, less than 5% of my clientele was actually local. So I had went to, it was this credit seminar in Atlanta. And I met this dude named, his name's Leo Rosner. He's a wealth advisor. Didn't even know that was a job. And I was like, so what do you do? And he's like, I basically tell rich people how to spend their money. And I was like, okay. So he referred me like my first 15 clients that were Cleveland based. And they were all old white dudes that wanted to invest in real estate, like do this, do that, had 6 and 7 figures in the bank and couldn't do nothing because they had shit credit.
So I hear you,
Mm-hmm.
but I would argue that having decent income and having money coming in does help you maintain your credit.
The thing about it is you have to know how the credit system works.
Mm.
So, and that's not something that's just, that we just don't know about. Like financial literacy is something that's lacking amongst everybody. I really want to say it's more of a class issue and not a race issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of Black people just happen to fall in that particular class.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But because I know a lot of people that are like, well, they've done studies and they've shown, and it's like, that's cool, but I've serviced over 3,000 people in the past 3 years. Like, what your studies show or what you read in a book that you picked up in line at the grocery store, and like what I see from actually doing the work, like this is what I see.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it started at home. Like when my credit was in the pits, I had good credit on accident. I had good credit on accident because my grandpa told me, like, you need to pay all your bills on time. So that's what I did all the time. Like, I always pay my bills on time. And then when my credit ended up in the pits, I thought like, oh, well, if I just pay all this off, I'll have good credit. And that's why I ended up spending $30,000 paying off charge-offs, collection accounts, and judgments. And my credit score went up 12 points. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I think a lot of it started at home. Like, it's hard to know what you're not taught. So it's like, if my parents don't know nothing about credit, or my parents always had bad credit, like, what can they teach me about maintaining my credit?
Yeah, it's so much that goes into it. I was watching this movie on Netflix. We watch a lot of Black Netflix movies in my house, and it was this movie about this like wealthy Black dude, and like this like kind of wealthy like chick as well. And he wanted to convince the people that lived in the building to buy the apartments they were living in. And so this brother is going over here telling the people that he works with, like, hey, we just got to help these people become homeowners. And she was saying, we don't need to help them become homeowners. We need to give them financial literacy and credit counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I hear you, but if you make $80,000 a year, it's easy to tell somebody who makes $20,000 a year that all they need is some counseling.
It is.
But if you were to trade places as if they did in the Eddie Murphy movie, you realize that like a lot of it's just lack of resources. So I tell people like, you got to have the knowledge of how credit works, because it doesn't make sense to have money and not have the knowledge of how credit works. But if you have the knowledge and no money, then you're kind of stuck as well. You got to pair the two together.
You do.
You got to get the knowledge and you got to get the wisdom. And that's just my stance on that.
No, I get it. I think not having the funds to manage your credit the way you need to is definitely an issue. But just poor management and like low financial literacy overall, and really trying to keep up with the Joneses, like spending what you know you don't need to be spending, living beyond your means. Like, I know a lot of people making good money with terrible credit just because they can't prioritize what they need to be prioritizing, because they need to be out every weekend, or they need to be eating out 4 times a week, or they need to be doing this, they need to be doing that. And it's like, you have the money to take care of what you need to take care of. It's just not a priority for you.
Yep.
So on the other hand, Irene, you had a tweet saying credit is a tool to get you access to more cash and to help keep the cash you have. For large loan amounts, you still have to be able to prove that you have access to the cash to pay for the credit. Stop making this harder than what it is.
That's it. You can go, like when I got my Mercedes last year, my credit score was close to 800s. They didn't ask me for no pay stubs or nothing for a $70,000 car. But if I was to go and get a mortgage, like $250,000 mortgage, they want to make, oh, you got the credit, that's cool, but we need to make sure that you have the income to be able to pay back this money as well. So it's like, all right, you got the credit, that's one step. if you ain't got the money to pay me back, you're not making it up to that second floor.
Right.
So it's like having good credit and like trying to get funding and doing all this, like it's only gonna get you so far. Like you gotta be able to have both.
All right. So Charles, you said, I got two tweets of yours that I think go together. You said, I don't think sports and rap are the only way we can win. I think people just see rappers and athletes getting money, and everyone ran over there. Then they had another tweet saying, we got to do better, y'all. Can't build a community like this, can't build wealth like this.
So those tweets are actually not related, but one thing that I will tell you is that I'm just finding like, and this is why I'm learning, and I put another tweet and it was saying like, I'm learning that I can't share everything that's working for me. So like 2 years ago, I was like, man, we doing this, we're over here. It only costs this much to make it happen. This is all you got to do. And what I found is it just killed it for me. Now there's no more opportunity for me in those different spaces. Everybody has an investment group. Everybody's investing in these cities. Everybody's doing these different things, and now I can't find a deal. And so now, since I am the sauce, and Detroit is not the sauce, and all these other areas and things we put together are not the sauce, once I have things rolling for me, I just keep it to myself. And so it's like I can't share with people what I'm doing because it brings – a lot of times what people do is they can't create their own ideas, so they copy yours. Mm-hmm. And so what I was thinking is that, you know what, from that deduction have realized that maybe it's not even that we can only have access to sports and entertainment. Somebody just saw somebody over there playing sports, making a bunch of money, and said, damn, I got to play sports too. Instead of saying, hey, maybe I can own the team. Maybe I could be the person selling popcorn. Maybe I could be the person that actually owns the arena. Maybe I could be the person that owns a parking lot. Maybe I could be the person that provides lighting to that community. Maybe I could be the person that provides the speakers for the stadium. And we as a community, we have this issue where we just copy everybody else instead of creating. And what happens is once you have that competition, you kill it. If you've ever read the book 0 to 1, the goal is to have a monopoly. The goal is to be the only person so you can dictate pricing, because once you have competition, the consumer wins, but the businesses lose. And so I'm telling people is we have to build a community, and the community requires that you have regulations and rules. And there's a reason why you go to a chamber of commerce and it's not a bunch of tax preparers in there. There's a reason why you go to these networking groups and it's not a bunch of lawyers in there. We got to intelligently build a community. And you can't build a community with a bunch of everybody doing the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's sports. It doesn't matter if it's entertainment. It doesn't matter if it's drug dealing. Like everybody can't be dealing drugs. If everybody's dealing drugs, we ain't making no money selling drugs. That's the reason why.
A lot of that is because we see people selling drugs or playing basketball and doing this and doing that. And we want instant gratification. We want, oh, they making that money? That's what I want to do too. And because we don't see a lot of people that look like us that are lawyers and doctors and doing this and doing that, it's like 33-year-old Irene, like I know like these people exist, but like that's not what we see in the mainstream. That's not what we see on social media. So it's like, until we really I
saw that too.
Yeah. And so we like normalize that. Like when people find out what I do and they like, oh, I mean, you know, she ain't really doing nothing. And then I pull up on you in this 2019 Benz, like, oh, I want to do what you do. And it's really, really, really bad on social media because, and this is why Hannah Financial University is like my online learning platform. Like my digital products, my classes, like about credit, business credit, money, all that great stuff. The very first live class I was doing was how to start your own credit repair business, right? So I had did the class before with my best friend 2 years ago. And so I already knew like, all right, boom, I can do it again. The reason why I stopped doing the trainings is because people see your success and they expect that if you train them or you show them how you did what you did, oh, I'm supposed to have this instant success. And then it's like when they're not instantly successful, now it's your fault. So I had opened up the class and I had been going back and forth with myself about it for a while. I literally refunded almost $11,000 in registrations like the day before class was supposed to go live, because I didn't want to deal with it. And I just think social media just make people not want to work, or like not want to be self-sufficient. Like I can give you a skeleton for this business, but you got to be able to go and like find some skin, like put some skin in the game, do some research on your own. And people, they don't want to do it now.
So one of your tweets that kind of pivots, or I guess piggybacks on this, is you said, you taking somebody's class does not make you an expert in that area to be trying to sell education about it.
Listen, I own real estate. I own rental properties. I would never go and make an ebook, how to get started real estate investing. Why? Because that's not my niche. Like, that's not something that I'm extremely versed in. So when I see people like, oh, you got a online community about stocks or whatever, and then I see you put out an ebook about how to build and repair your own credit, like, what?
Yeah.
That's not your niche. Like, this is not what you do. Like me I got your stock options course. I would never go and make an ebook about some damn stock options, even if I was killing it. Like, all right, I done learned a little something. People they don't want to stay. I'm not gonna say stay in their lanes. They don't really understand that when it comes to education, you really need to be really versed in what you're doing. And they see you killing the stock options course, so they like, oh, well, let me do my own course and like get this money to do this. And it's like, then when these people are not satisfied with the product that you're putting out, or they got questions that you can't answer, now you look like boo-boo the fool. Cause you was just in it to try to get some skins, and you ain't really have the knowledge behind the product that you're trying to push.
I feel like, I think wealth is about community. Like, we're over here and we're all trying to get wealth, but in actuality, we're just trying to be able to have a respectable living. Like, we're not out here trying to be dripping in diamonds and like it would be nice to be like driven to your job or like chauffeured to the office and things like that. But like, most people, they just want to not be able to be harassed when they go places. They just want to be able to be like treated respectably. And a lot of times that follows wealth. And so my problem with that is that we need to build a community, which means we need to be helping each other win instead of trying to steal from each other. We need to be supporting what other people are doing, instead of kind of like slandering what they're doing. And I'm really passionate about that, because to me, whenever it's like a shooting or whether it's a political thing, people don't really want to be like existing in just Gucci everything. They really just want to be able to be comfortable. They really just want to be safe. They really just want to be secure. That's all they want. And that just happens to follow wealth. And so we're chasing wealth. And yeah, we're building up and buying rental properties. And yeah, we're building businesses. But that's mostly so we can be paid what we're worth. It's like Kezia said, she's like, we're not out there trying to be Zucks.
Right.
We're just trying to not be underpaid. We're just trying to not be.
And I want to be comfortable. Right. Like, I think probably, I still do it. I used to wake up every morning and check my bank account to see if my bank account was overdrafted. And it's like, I've had at least $30,000 in my business checking account every month for the past 7 months. And I'm still waking up every day like, all right,
you good
to go. Yeah. But that's what's important to me. I really I want to have freedom. Like, I want to be able to disconnect if I want to. And it's so crazy because I didn't even really realize what was important to me or what I really wanted until I was able to step away from my job. So like stepping away from my job and then starting my own business, like it really helped me realize like, I don't like being accessible to people if I want to. Like, I don't like getting up at 5 a.m. to go to work. Like, being a business owner, like I have the luxury of sleeping all day and pulling an all-nighter. Like, and then sleeping until 2 p.m. and not having to answer to nobody. Like, if I need to not work for 4 days because I need to be in the hospital with my mom, like I have the luxury of doing that. And being a small business owner, like that's really what drives me. Like being able to have the luxury to really do what I want to do and not be tied down to something that ultimately does not serve me. Like you working, or I know me personally, like making $39,000 a year, that wasn't doing nothing for me.
One of the things that I like about you is like you're successful and you're knowledgeable, but you also keep it real. Like you're also yourself. And I think that is what being a business owner is all about, is being yourself and being able to live well and being able to just like you don't got to like cater to anybody. You say what you want to say, you do what you want to do.
I've actually had people like the other day I had a credit clarity call with this person. I tell people as a business owner, I don't care if you're making $1,000 a day. I don't care if you're making $100 a day. Everybody is not your client. Like everybody that you come across that's interested in your services should not be able to sign up for your services. I had this lady, she did a credit clarity call. So a credit clarity calls, you sign up, I go over your credit reports with you, tell you what you need to do to get to where you want to go, let you know if you need credit repair, answer any questions you have. When I tell y'all, she put me through the ringer. Like you going down the rabbit hole on some Quora forums about credit repair and me being licensed and bonded and literally eat, breathing, and sleeping credit and consumer laws for the past 4 years, we are not one and the same.
Yeah.
You do not tell me what I can and cannot do in an industry that I am legally operating in. Like, so I had to tell her, she was like, well, I guess I can get started today. And I'm like, no, you can't. And like, you wouldn't be a good fit for us. What you mean? I need to talk to corporate. I am corporate. Like, no.
You want to talk to the manager?
Yeah, like I am she. Like
how it starts is how it ends with those people, man. They're gonna continue to be like that the entire relationship.
They're gonna be the biggest headaches in the world. And like all of my calls are recorded. So I made my staff listen to the call. I'm like, this is the headache that I just avoided for y'all, because like once we do the credit clarity calls, my team take it from there. And just the whole vibe of the call was like, nah, nope. Mm-hmm. I don't want no parts. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you could leave Google reviews right now on businesses, she probably would have left me like a 1-star review. But I don't want no parts.
I feel like that's another perk of being a business owner, is you don't got to work with everybody. Let's say, for example, you're working for a credit repair firm and your boss decided to bring in that client. And now you can't just not work with that client. So now you're miserable. Now you're frustrated. Now you're just angry at the world because your job requires you to work with this terrible person. But when you're a business owner, it's like, not only are you going to dismiss her, you're probably going to get 10 more behind her. There's other people that are going to work with you how you want to be worked with.
Yep. And it's crazy because like in 2017, I was struggling. Like I thought, hey, I'm going to quit my job and I don't got no money saved up and I'm going to just be booming in business. And that was not the case. That wasn't the case at all. And I was just taking everybody like, oh, you want to sign up? You want to sign up? And it was like the worst experience ever. So once I did start picking up in 2018, I stopped doing free consultations the end of 2018. Like, if you serious about your journey, you're going to sign up. We're going to get you rolling. It's not my job to sell you about you needing to repair your credit. Mm-hmm. And that's why we don't do free consultations. Don't DM me. I'm not responding.
But you get there by giving away the free in a lot of instances. And so that's how you get that footprint. That's how you get the reviews. That's how you get the knowledge up. That's how you get all that stuff that allows you to say, I don't do free anymore.
Yep. Like I felt like I did my time. Like I did I did a lot of footwork. Like I ain't there no more. But you just, as a business owner, you really just gotta have faith. Like, all right, I might not be popping the way I want to right now, but what can I do to make me better? Or like, what can I do to make my business better? What can I do to bring more value to my clients? And it's like, once I start focusing on that and not really, how do I get clients or like, oh, I need everybody to sign up for me. Once I really start focusing on delivering and bringing value, it was like people just start falling off the sky. So, and here we are.
What you got, Raphael?
So Charles, you said your product might not be for everybody, but it is for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anyone limit your reach, or don't let everyone limit your reach.
I felt like we just talked about that.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But to give people a few sentences, I want to encourage people to, because what'll happen is let's say you launch a product and you put it out to the world, and some people love it, some people hate it. It's easy to focus on the people that hate it. It's easy to focus on the people that are criticizing and they're saying it's not good enough, when in actuality you're helping a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want anybody who is sitting on an idea to think they have to make everybody happy, to think they have to appeal to everybody, because I don't know who was talking about this. I think it might have been Brian, infamous CPA, but he was talking about how, like, we found out that there's about 300 million people in the United States. I think 13% of those people are African American. That means there's about 40,000 African American people, approximately, or 40 million African American people in the United States, approximately. And you don't need all those people to get rich. If you get a tenth, a half of that tenth, 5% of those black people to support you, and it might even be the black people, it might just be the entire piece of that entire pie, you good. So it's like, stop focusing on serving everybody and just focus on serving one person. Focus on serving.
It's always gonna be people that don't like what you do. Like, it's people that hate Beyonce. Like, you ain't gotta be a Beyonce fan, but how can you be a Beyonce hater? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't focus on them. You need to focus on the people that respect and support what you do, because focusing on anybody else, you're gonna be driving yourself crazy.
Yeah. Keeping it 100, I feel like I was listening to somebody speak, and he was talking about, like, different people throughout history who have been hated. And if you think about it, like, everybody's been hated before they were loved. Like,
Everybody
there's a
hates
lot.
Obama.
And there's a lot.
Listen, I know Republicans now to be like, I should have voted for Hillary. Like, it's.
But, like, even MLK, like, I was reading the book David and Goliath, and he was talking about, like, MLK wasn't as popular as we thought he was. Like, people, Marcus Garvey was hated, Malcolm X was hated, all these great leaders, Jesus was hated. And so, like, you can't, like, I feel like sometimes as African American people, we say we're not a monolith, and then we act like we are a monolith. And so, like, sometimes you get out in business, you feel like all black people have to love you. And that's not true either. Sometimes they could just not rock with it. But as long as you provide value for those that do love you, then you're good.
And Irene, you said, I mean, you touched on that already, where you said y'all love calling someone unprofessional just because you don't have access to them the way you want to.
I like that tweet.
Yes. Oh, let me tell you what happened the other day. Okay, so I made a post on Instagram, and I said, you will not find me in my DMs. And no, I am not calling you if you send me your phone number. You can schedule a call with me and sign up for my services at hannafinancial.com.
Yes,
and somebody left a comment that said, let me find it. Where's she at?
it should be good.
She tried to read me for filth, y'all.
Irene is the reason why I have 2 Tide Capital phone cases. At first, I only had 1, but I was like, I got to step it up.
Oh yeah, you got to be branded out. She basically said something like, "Where's the professionalism and the charity?" And I said, "The professionalism is me making sure that my clients get service in a timely and professional manner. Like, me telling you how you can and cannot interact with me has nothing to do with my professionalism. And charity is me going live 4 days a week, giving y'all a hella free financial gain. Like, charity is me giving y'all the 800 number to call the Department of Education to get your taxes back if the Department of Education offset your tax refund because your student loans is in default. Like, that's charity. But I get it all the time. Like, people really be mad that they can't access you the way that they want to. Like, with my hairdresser, I can't call my hairdresser and be like, hey girl, I want to come in on Saturday at 2 p.m. She's gonna be like, Irene, you got the link to my books, like, schedule your appointment. That don't make her unprofessional. She has the right to dictate how she interact with people.
Right.
And I feel like, especially as Black people, we hold each other to these crazy standards when it comes to business. Like, Walmart has the worst customer service in the world. and y'all be in there 3 days a week, religiously, spending your little money and don't say nothing about it. But let you send an email to a Black business owner at 6 p.m. on a Friday and you don't hear from them until Monday morning, and it's a problem. Like, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Or, first off, that's a bar, and we got to turn that into a YouTube clip. The other is, who is Hannah?
Oh, so my great grandmother, I was named after her. Her name was Irene Hannah Mashkianagas. She was like one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And my great grandfather, he owned a bar in Cleveland. He actually was one of the first Black people in Cleveland, like one of the first Black owned establishments to have a liquor license in the city. So when I started Hannah Financial, I knew I didn't want to put like credit repair in my name, and I didn't want to put my name in my business name. So I'm like, I like Hannah Financial. It's nice, generic, and yeah, she's been rocking with it ever since.
I like
I
it.
get
That's
aggravated
dope.
when people send me emails and be like, "Hey Hannah," and I'd be like, "Hey." Yeah.
That's funny because I get called Todd. My name is not Todd.
Yeah, but my great grandparents, they were the best of the best people. So
I feel like it's kind of cool to build a business that pays homage to somebody. That's kind of what Brother Graham did, where his company is called Joyner Vending. It's because his grandfather, his last name was Joyner, I believe. Either his last name or his first name. And his grandfather was like the super successful business person, owned some real estate and whatnot. And so he kind of wanted to pay homage to him in building his business. So that's dope. What do you got, Raphael?
All right, so Charles, you had a tweet saying, this is a real short one, success matters.
I don't know why I said that. I have no idea why I said that. Pass.
like, what was going on in the Twitter streets?
Well, you said tough to believe in scarcity when everyone on your block has money.
So I don't think those tweets were interrelated, but I found, and since it's tweet talk, I can say what I want to say. But every time somebody hops in the community and they start wilding out, it's always the Caucasian people that support it that bring me the news. It's always them. It's never my peeps. It's usually those peeps are like, oh, we jumping in. We got to go. And so, and this is going to sound crazy, but I just feel like, a lot of times we do things and we do it out of scarcity. So I feel like I was talking about this earlier, and I feel like there's crime in the inner city because there's scarcity. People think there's not enough money to go around, so I got to take your money. People think there's not enough women to go around, so I got to take your woman. People think there's not enough jobs to go around, so I got to hate on you for having a job. And so what I've just found is like people from a different community tend to have a different mindset, especially the people that I interact with from that community. They're lenders. They're people who are doing really well for themselves. And so they see something that's kind of like out of whack and they're like, hey, bro, like this isn't how it should be happening. In a civilized community, there shouldn't be somebody in your community stealing your shit. That's not how we function in a civilized community. In a civilized community, I don't take yours. I go build mine.
Right.
That's why when you go to these different communities,
I bring you on to help me build mine.
Right. It's like I'm not kicking in your door, taking your TV. But when you go to Detroit, you move somebody out and they're jacking your furnace. You move somebody out and now they're going into like ruin stuff. And so it's unfortunate that it is that way. But I just feel like we have to start functioning in a different mentality. But it's tough. It's tough when that's not what you come from. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, why is it that other people can exist in abundance by default? And it's because that's what they were raised in. If you grow up in a community where like this person is winning and that person's winning and that person's winning, if everybody around you is winning, you don't even know what it looks like to not be winning. Right. So it's like, that's kind of what that tweet was derived from. I always like take something that happened and I think about it and then I tweet about it. And so that's what happened there. And I don't know. It's unfortunate. I told somebody, I was like, I have no problem with you building your own. There are other communities out there, but I have a problem with you hopping in my community trying to steal my people. And that was my issue. I approached him on the side. I talked to him. We kind of came to an agreement that it wasn't going to happen. And it is what it is. But the thing is the reason why a person like that does that he doesn't have the pool to build that many people in there. Mm-hmm. There's 900 people in that group, but they all came because of what I was doing. But if you look at his following, he has like 300 followers. He couldn't get 900 people if he wanted to. So the only way for him to even get people was to steal my people. But the thing is, I'm going to get even more because I haven't really been pushing it like that. I've been kind of low key.
And that really just comes from people having low integrity. Like, when I tell y'all, I had somebody buy my DIY guide and they DM'd me. So before I delete my message request, I'll go through some of them to see if it's like, maybe I should read this one. So the other night I was bored and I'm going through a message request and this girl messaged me like, hey, I bought your DIY guide and then I found it online for free.
Whoa.
I'm like, okay, like somebody posted my DIY guide somewhere for free. Like, where do you want? So I went to her profile and it just so happened that she do credit repair. It's like when people, and you could tell that like whatever she is doing is like, it ain't Hannah Financial. And it's like when people see you saucing, like your sauce is bubbling, people buying your sauce, people really envy that. Like, oh, why they killing it over here and I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that? And it's like, they'll come in your space solely to just try to disturb your peace. Like, they don't want to come to learn. They don't want to come to like, see if you're willing to teach them. They just come solely to disturb your peace. Yeah. And you see it, I see it all the time, like especially on Twitter.
She sees it more than I see it for some reason. She sees it all.
Yeah. Cause I be lurking a lot. Like a lot of times when I be on Twitter, I don't be tweeting. I just be lurking. Like it's crazy. I'll see something pop off and I'll be like, yo, what is that? And then if I can't figure out like where the shots is being thrown, I DM somebody like, hey, you see what's going on? What they talking about? But like, I do a lot of lurking, a whole lot of lurking. And I try to really like, I'm cool with everybody. Like I'm cool with a lot of folks. Unless like I've seen you do some crappy stuff. Like it's a couple Twitter folks I don't fuck with. Like I don't fuck with Harvey. Name drop. I don't fuck with him.
Tweet talk.
Yeah, I don't. Because one, he was scamming people on credit repair, and I hate when people think they know some shit and be misinforming people. Like I remember he tweeted some shit like, if you get an LLC, you could just go to the dealership and go buy a car in your LLC name. No, the fuck you can't. So I don't like stuff like that, especially when it comes to like the space that I'm in, because I feel like so many people get taken advantage of by people that are doing illegal financial shit. And then they come over to Hannah Financial and I got to break it down. Like, if this made sense, this wouldn't make sense. And they be like, damn, that really makes sense. And it's like, I don't like cleaning up after people. And I don't like seeing people being taken advantage of. And I feel like people that do illegal credit repair or be like selling dreams, I feel like you're taking advantage of people and I can't rock with that.
Mm.
So.
What do you got, Raphael? I need to get a cooler chair.
That reminds me of. And then speaking of like our sponsor, investatheteam.com, I saw somebody ripped off one of his shirts.
Yeah, I was very upset when I saw it because they're cool people, man. They always take care of the people who are like cool people. Mm-hmm. Like I'll never forget Bravado Life. I don't know why he was doing this, but when he first started his business, like maybe I like either hit him with a retweet or something, just because I generally do that, and he would send me money every time I did it. And I was like, bro, like you have to send me money. Like I was just sharing.
Like, I was retweeting you like just off GP.
Yeah, but like he was sending shirts, so like he hooked us up with shirts, and so like it's like, bro, like these cool people, you can't be taking his whole thing. Apparently, he already has a trademark though, so he could definitely send that cease and desist ASAP.
Listen. He needs to. When I saw it, I was like, and they didn't even use a cute font. Like, if you go and jack somebody's shit, you're supposed to jack it and make it better. Like, you don't jack it and make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not. It was. Yeah, it even looked good. Like,
yeah, it didn't look good at all. He made that on Canva and got it printed on the shirt. That's what he did.
It's a tweet talk recommendation to make sure you trademark your stuff and protect your stuff, because sometimes it be your own, man.
Yeah. So Charles had a tweet. don't get caught having your pants down because you weren't willing to spend money defending your empire?
Man, so there's a reason why America spends so much money on defense. And when you start having, or when you have success in business, there's this tendency to just keep all the money for yourself instead of investing in building up protection for your business.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that trademark, getting all those things patented, getting all that things protected so that like you can defend your empire. And sometimes you got to pay people to defend your empire, but it's worth it because then once your empire is really protected, you can grow it even bigger. And so I just, from experience, has realized like you got to invest the money in protecting your stuff. And so now we're going to have people who are literally paid to protect the empire, not just people who are doing it gratuitously. Because I found that it's a lot better to have people that you have paid doing stuff for you than people that are just doing it out of the kindness of their heart. Because I need you to be on task. Right. I need you on task at all times. I need to be able to know that if I tell you to do something, it's either going to get done or it's going to be problems. Not, I didn't get it done. And if you're not paying somebody and they have the latitude to just say, I just didn't get it done, sorry, I can't do you that favor.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because I've got like business insurance. You should have business insurance. And I got my bond. I got errors and omissions insurance last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely
got to protect it.
You got to.
Because if you don't protect it, you can lose it all. And I feel like a part of that had to do with like Black Wall Street. And so I was talking about like, it's not enough just to become successful. You also got to stay successful. Mm-hmm. And that's true financially. That's true in any sense. It's not enough just to make a bunch of money. If you spend it all, now you're broke again. It's not enough just to build a great company if somebody can just come and copy it and take your whole company and put you out of business. Like you have to have said, you know what, it's cool, I'm making all this money, but let me peel off 10%, 15% and invest in insurance, invest in all these different things to make sure I'm protecting it. And so I feel like that's just kind of where we are. In the beginning, it's just like, I just want to win. I just got to be successful. Now it's like, all right, cool, for sure. Now what? Now you got to make sure you got that attorney. Now you got to make sure that you got that CPA. Now you got to make sure that you have that, all these different people that are in line that are supporting you. I was talking about, I forgot who I was talking to, but maybe my mom. I was telling her, like, it's not my job to talk to tenants or contractors. It's my job to talk to the attorney, the CPA, and whoever else advisor I have, maybe a COO. That's it. Those people that I talk to. Everybody else talks down. I only talk at this level. And that's kind of the goal. I tell people that business and investing are team sports. The team is your attorney, your CPA, yourself, your manager. That's your team. Let everybody else, investor management, handle the investors. Let everybody else handle the tenants, property management. Let somebody else handle your contractors, project management. And then you just talk to the manager of your managers. That's how you build an enterprise.
I agree.
So, Irene, you said the entire purpose of the credit scoring system is to score how you manage credit. You know what that means? You have to have lines of credit important to support a score, whether it's a good score or not.
I stand by it. A lot of people like want good credit. And that's why I tell people like credit repair is a team sport. So if you come into credit repair, all right, you need some items cleaned up. You ain't got no positive credit. It defeats the purpose of you paying for a service if you aren't willing to do what you need to do to get the max amount of value out of the service. So like on our end, all we doing is cleaning up inaccurately reporting and unverifiable items. That's it. The score increases is gonna come from you building positive credit, paying your credit utilization down, paying your bills on time. And it's a lot of people who come into credit repair because they done heard the Harveys of the universe tell them some crazy crap that they didn't need to do or that they did need to do. And you done got 17 account deletions and your scoring went up and now you want to be mad at us. Like, no, you have to be able to show on paper that I'm responsible. Like I pay my bills. And if they giving us the formula, we know what the formula is: payment history, utilization, credit age, credit mix. Like you have to use the formula. So that's really what that was about.
You said, I told somebody I wasn't taking them as a client today, and they keep calling me back to cuss me out.
That was the girl. And it's crazy because like, so my employees, they not in the office now. Everybody's working from home because of COVID-19. And we could have stayed open because financial services is like essential, but it's not that many of us. And I knew if one person in the office got sick, everybody else was gonna get sick. So I'm like, y'all gonna have to take them computers home. But our phones are landlines. So you can't reach us by phone right now. Like I can call out from my cell phone, but like my team can't answer the phone. When I had the credit clarity call with that lady and I told her, I'm like, you're just not a good fit for the company. She literally called back like 8 times and she kept leaving me voicemails like, I need to talk to the manager. And I'm like, I don't even know how the hell she even got through, because when you call, it says that, hey, we ain't answering the phone right now. Email us, message us through your secure client portal. If you're not a client, go to the website and sign up. I don't even know how the hell she found my extension, because like my extension is not extension 1 or 2. Like I have to give you my extension for you to be able to get to my line. Don't know how she did it, but she did, because I had hella voicemails from her.
That's funny.
Still not taking you as a client, still banned your email address in my scheduler and my CRM. Like, no. I don't want no part.
What is your beef with Libras?
Oh, me and my boyfriend broke up 2 weeks ago and he's a Libra.
Oh, because
being a woman.
You said the light skinned N-word that ghosted Issa at the end of season 3 and popped back up. I bet he's a Libra.
He had to be a Libra. Because I don't know no other man. And it's so crazy. Like, I have never been dumped a day in my life. I got dumped 2 weeks ago. I done been divorced, like, but I have never been dumped before. So I was really going through it. I'm over it now, though. Like, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah. Cried about it for a week, you know.
We're here for you at Tweet Talks.
Yeah. I'm good.
We're very sympathetic.
Focus back to the money. So.
All right. Cool. So tell us real quick the different products you had on your online store.
Oh, so what I got right now, my DIY credit repair guide. I was doing a webinar about COVID-19, but I ended up refunding everybody and just going live about it and covering like all of the financial stuff with that. I got a business credit blueprint ebook launching next week. I'm actually waiting for my graphic designer to give me my cover and my promo images and stuff. So when he gets that over, I'll be posting it. But I got like a bunch of stuff that I'm putting in Hannah Financial U coming up. So
can you kind of brief us on business credit?
So let's see, myths about business credit.
Well, first of all, you said, I think this is the most important thing to start off with. Business credit is not an alternative to avoiding your personal credit issues.
It absolutely is not. So a lot of this like hype around business credit now is because people think, oh, if I build my business credit, I don't have to worry about my personal credit, and that's absolutely false. One, it take a lot of money to build business credit. Like, especially to build it to the point where you can get funding and lines of credit completely, like without a personal guarantee, without them running your personal credit. But still, like, even depending on the amount of money that you're trying to get financed. So business credit is awesome. You will get way more funding with business credit than you ever will with personal credit. Like, even with my credit scores being an 800, I get way more funding with my business credit than I would ever be able to get with my personal credit. But they still want personal guarantees. And a lot of people think, oh, well, if I just build up my business credit reports, I won't have to personally guarantee anything. And that's absolutely false. So that's really like the biggest thing that people need to know coming into business credit, is that you still have to make sure that your personal credit is squared away, and you have to actually spend money with these companies that are going to report your payment history to your business credit reports to build history. So a lot of times when people come into business credit, they don't want to spend that money. And that's why I stopped doing business credit coaching. Like, you can either buy my credit suite or you cannot. So that's why I'm doing the business credit ebook, because now you can either buy my credit suite or buy the ebook.
So the credit suite, like it's a one-time payment, and you just kind of like carry them through.
Yeah. So this is what Credit Suite is. It's a software that walks you through A to Z, making sure your business is established the correct way, making sure you listed in 401, like getting your business number and listed in 401. That's a $400 service by itself. They list you in 401 for free, making sure like you got the appropriate addresses, make sure you got the right and that NASCO codes, make sure you got them. And then it's like 4 tiers of business credit. So they walk you through which vendors to get, like how to apply with them. And as you move through each tier, it tells you the likelihood of you being approved for like different lines of business credit. So that's dope. But I think the most valuable thing about Credit Suite is that you have access to their advisors whenever. So like as a Credit Suite customer, you can call Credit Suite and ask them 1,000,001 business credit questions if you want to. And then once you build up your business credit profiles, they've got like a network of like 15,000 different alternative lenders that will get you funding solely based on your business credit profiles. So that's really what you're paying for. You're really paying for the plug. Like you're really paying for the plug to get alternative lending straight with business credit and making sure that it's set up the right way. So yeah. Like if I didn't have Credit Suite, when I got it originally, I had just got it as like I just paid the $3,000 and just bought the suite, and it literally walked me through everything I need to do. But had I not had Credit Suite, I really wouldn't have understood how the tiers in business credit work and like the risk factors and all of that. I wouldn't know about none of that, and I just would have been wasting money trying to build business credit. And not really getting nowhere with it. So I think it was definitely worth the investment. And I was able to get like close to $200,000 in funding for just my business alone with no personal guarantee. So
wow,
it was definitely worth the $3,000. To have access to where to get the money from and to have guidance of what I needed to do to get the money. So, yep.
You mean rental cars you could buy with $200,000, Raphael?
And you know it's crazy
because like hurts.
Yeah.
Like my biggest overhead cost is payroll. I don't even really have nothing to spend that money on for real. Like I wanted to buy an office instead of leasing an office, and it's crazy because it was something that I was considering for like the past 6 months. Like I wanted to have like since we do taxes, I wanted to have a tax office, but then have like rooms where people can rent to do like financial seminars and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then COVID-19 happened, and I was like, nope. So
I mean, once it's gone, I mean that might still be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm giving it like 60 days. Trying to borrow Grant Cardone's jet.
Right.
And to those listening, you just dropped the price on the Credit Suite.
I did. So since I white label Credit Suite, they actually sent us like discounted enrollments. So I just rolled that enrollment over to my purchase price. Oh yeah. Yep.
So if you're listening, we're not going to say the price on air because you never know when you listen to this.
Oh, it's $1,500. I'm just letting you know. Like, pop chickens, don't DM me. Like
I was gonna say by the time somebody listens to this, it might be 6 months from now, and then the price
it's gonna be back up to $3,000.
Yikes! But hey, $3,000 versus $200,000.
Right. Especially with like the credit crunch that's going on right now. Like Chase just increased the credit score requirements for their conventional loans. Alternative lending is definitely gonna be where it's at.
Yeah, I saw that.
You could just muted yourself, Raphael.
Yeah, I just realized. Yeah.
What else do you have for, man? I know we're getting towards the end of this.
Yep. Well,
Charles, don't take anything else from Irene. Make sure you brand yourself.
Yes. And you know, it's crazy. I was so worried. Like, oh man, Credit Queen Irene, like it's so cheesy. And then when I dropped that promo, baby, when I dropped it, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Irene, I love it." And I was like, "I'm glad you do," because I was so on the fence about it.
It works, man. It definitely works. I'm mad you don't have your own shirt on right now.
You know what had happened was when I got off live with Blacker Pockets earlier, I went to sleep. And then when I saw your email, it was like 9:30. And I was like, all right, let me just sleep for 20 more minutes. And I ended up sleeping until like 9:55. And I was like, all right, come on, let's go. We got to go.
I forgot Ohio's on East Coast time.
Yeah, I'm at EST. And I was going to change my shirt, but then the shirts that I found, they was wrinkled. And I was like, y'all ain't about to catch me out here slipping in these streets, no wrinkled shirt on.
Well, you got the, don't you have a sweatshirt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's everything, man.
Yeah,
they may or may not be in the washer, and I need to put them in the dryer.
Then I saw also the other day you had the bathrobe where you put the pin on.
Oh yeah, my lapels. I don't play. Listen, you gotta push your brand, like you got to. If you don't push it hard, don't expect nobody else to push it hard.
Yep, 100%.
And that is worth the price of admission right there.
Yep, I'm gonna definitely ride for mine. So.
Yeah, Credit Queen Irene. Any updates in the last couple of days, Charles, of the Mobile Barbershop?
Hey, I had a good conversation with Janetta Pay, the business attorney on Instagram. She's kind of like, Instagram is so crazy. It's like you can kind of own a space on Instagram. And so Janetta Pay, she hit me up. I contacted her like 2 days ago. I think I told you about her telling me that we can just repossess it. So she sent me an update today. And she basically said she confirmed what Georgia law says. We can just snatch it. And it says that we can take it even if it's on private property as long as we don't breach the peace. So as long as we're not out there like causing the ruckus, we can just take it back. We have the keys. And so the gym she gave me, she told me to just hire a private repo company. So somebody who just does this all the time. I can literally probably provide them with the information, give them the location, they go snatch it. And if there's any problems, they're probably used to dealing with problems.
Right.
Whereas I am not used to dealing with problems.
Right.
So that was kind of the gym there. The goal is to take it, snatch it, get it back where we need it to be. Maybe even have to change the locks on these fools. But it's definitely been an experience. The great thing about it is the people that are working with me on that are super motivated. Like they're not all depressed and frustrated. They're like, hey, we tried it. It didn't work that way. Let's try it again a different way. And those are the kind of partners that you need. You need partners who are going to realize that business ain't perfect. And a lot of us are out here. I'm not over here like my parents own a barbershop and I'm just trying to do what they did. Nobody in my family owns a barbershop. And so I'm like a maverick. I'm out here just trying to figure it out. So we try something. It doesn't work. We try something different. And that's the update from the Mobile Barbershop. So we should have it back in our possession in about a week or so. Having an assistant matters. It helps you get a lot of stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the partners in the Mobile Barbershop, shout out to Andre Hatchett.
Happy birthday, Andre.
Happy birthday, Andre.
Happy birthday, leader. And so, Irene, where can everybody find everything related to Hannah Financial?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Credit Queen Irene. If you want to schedule a call with me, the link is in my bio. You can find me on Twitter, Ireezy Peasy. That's kind of like Twitter is like really like my hideout. So if y'all see me tweeting about credit, it's really because like I'm just triggered and I just need to get this off my chest real quick. But Twitter is really like my hideout. Like I just be out in these Twitter streets, like with my little margaritas trying to kick it. Like, that's all we're trying to do. But yeah, you guys can follow me, Ireezy Peasy, on Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook as well at Credit Queen Irene.
And it's all based mainly at hannahfinancial.com, correct?
Yep. If you want to schedule a credit clarity call with me, if you want to sign up for my credit repair services, you can do so at hannahfinancial.com. If you want to purchase my DIY credit repair guide, you can get the link from Mr. Todd Capital down here.
Yeah.
It's
in the bio.
He got the affiliate link.
We've been slanging them things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely just look up on the price. Because I was lowballing myself as is. So, yeah. And then especially, I went live the other day for the people that purchased the book, and they was like, yeah, Irene, this was, you definitely should be charging way more. So I went up a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I got it on sale.
It still got her at Trader Joe's eating well. So, episode Jackie Robinson, Raphael, friends of the show. Who do we got? Bravado Life, the only maker of the official merch of Black Wealth Real Estate era, Black Wealth Renaissance. The official. Ain't nobody else out there.
You can't fire me, the boss.
Listen.
And also Hustle for Your Last Name t-shirts.
You also got a shirt coming for the options too. So
shameless plug to Blacker Pockets.
Capital.
Shout out Ty Cap. Shout out Raphael and his affiliate company. We got to figure out a name for your affiliate company. You got to take it official and brand it.
Listen.
You got to, man. Why not? Why not?
Right. Okay.
So, all the links in the bio. Don't send us no DMs.
You can't DM me on Twitter, and I ain't reading your DMs on Instagram. So,
so forget it.
Already know where to go. Automation.
We should call this episode "Link in Bio."
Link in bio. It was funny. I tweeted earlier. I'm like, I almost want to put in my bio, "Don't ask me for shit." Link below.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw this one, but Charles had somebody hit him in the DMs asking about where they can find the link to the options courses. How do you sign up for the options course? All Charles said was link in bio.
Oh, and they called you like rude or something.
Unprofessional and
people be crazy, man. People be real life crazy. I had somebody DM me earlier, and it was like, "Hey, I ain't paying for a call, but I had a question." No, you don't.
Did they actually say that though? That they're not paying? Did they actually said that?
Blocked. Like, yeah. No, we want to play them games.
Hey, man, saying I'm not gonna pay you, but I want you to answer the question.
Yeah, no, you ain't about to quick question me to death, bro. Only person
that
is my mama, and I got her whole contact is on Do Not Disturb. Like, nope.
Okay, I know I paid for my call.
Listen, and I'm gonna call you at 12 o'clock promptly. Okay.
Right. So wrapping it up, definitely follow Irene on Instagram at Credit Queen Irene. Follow her on Twitter at Ireezy
Peasy. I want to change my name to Credit Queen Irene on Twitter, but it's too long. So yeah.
She definitely can show you how to start a business and run a business. Even if you think you know it all, she knows some stuff. Even just from listening to this, she's like, you got to go through my voicemail. You got to go through my extension. So a lot of gems in here that weren't really phrased as gems. It was just her being her and talking about how she structured her business. So dope episode.
Yep. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me, Raphael, at Work Money Life. Follow Charles at Todd Billion. Follow us on Instagram. It is still at Todd Billion, right?
It is.
Okay. Follow us on Instagram at Tweet Talk Podcast, at Todd.capital, at Partner with Millie, and at Bless a Black Man. Get all the products, the stock options trading course, and the vending machine business course, and all the other courses at toddcapital.co. And I think that's pretty much it. Tweet Talk, episode 42. We are out.
It's lit. We're going to start saying it's lit at the end, too.
It's lit.
Peace.
All right. I know it's late where you guys are, so.
Listen, I'm definitely about to take my ass to sleep.